boys, I'm Brandon Cole and the fellas. Got a bunch of requests to do modern pistol review. Beretta, Sigs, Glocks, the new M17, M18s. And I don't have a whole lot of experience with a bunch of them, especially not this Beretta. I know Cole does, but you know, just unbiased feedback. Get a bunch of questions. What do you think? This is my duty pistol. How would you run it? And I don't have a whole lot of experience with this. When we went to Navy boot camp, that was the first real 9mm pistol I really shot. I grew up with 22 pistols, a bunch of trapping, a bunch of stuff like that, but never really semi-automatic pistols like that. Yep. And it was a pneumatic thing, right? Me and Joe were talking about it. I thought it was like a simulator. Like it had like an air hose on it, so when I shot one mag out of that thing, we got done. I never shot it again my whole life until last range day you weren't here. I put 2 mags through it, so I have 30 rounds of experience with that Beretta.
I mean, that was kind of my first introduction going through our A school, Master at Arms, and we had to qualify and shoot with the Beretta. And it was my first introduction. Completely sucks. I hate it. I fucking hate it.
How'd you like it?
Of course, it's all right-handed controls, but just how it cycled, shot. I mean, like it's such a long trigger pull.
And you got
the safety. Yeah.
So were you drawn out of the holster when you were at boot camp?
You do eventually. Sorry, I cut my hand.
Yeah, typical. You always do.
You did some, but not super tactical.
But like, do they want you to action that safety on the draw?
Oh yeah, I was miserable, and I almost actually got kicked out of A school because I thought I could switch the magazine release button because it was slowing me down. And I got the button out, but I couldn't get it back in. So I had to tell one of the instructors, and they literally threatened to kick me out, send me undesignated, pull my SEAL contract.
That's what happened to me.
Yes, I hate this thing.
When me and Joe were shooting the other day, like when I first put it in my hand, it feels like how I thought a pistol would feel. Like, you know, Martin Riggs back in the day, Lethal Weapon. Like I was all into it, dude. Like I thought the gun looked super cool. I can't get past that first trigger pull. Like it's so long, and I grew up shooting a 226. That's a long trigger pull. Cousin, you better pack a lunch for this thing. Like if you're not prepping on full extension, by the time you get there, it goes and goes and goes, and you can watch it build. It's like, oh, here it comes. Nah, brother, you got another 3-4 inches. Like here we go. And just the overall ergonomics of it, like it feels good in the hand. I can't get past that safety. Like can't do it. To think that I can action that on the presentation and it's not going to really jack my grip up, or like some one-handed manipulation, that's just some really, I don't know, man. Like me personally, I ain't into it.
No.
We talk about capacity though. We're talking about 15+1.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the capacities evolve, but yeah, I mean, 15+1 was an extreme amount of rounds back then. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're the dude who shot it the most. You want to run the first max through it?
No, I'll throw it.
Okay.
I don't want to shoot it.
I'll shoot it.
Give me PTSD again.
I am going to say that this trigger pull from the full extension is very, 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 very long. That's a long ass trigger pull, and if you're not prepping that out by the time you actually get out the full presentation, what you end up doing is jerking it, and it's such a heavy trigger pull that it really throws you off. So my natural presentation, I'm really trying to take it up. So I got to go back to old school 226, like prep, keep prepping until it's at full arm extension, and then kind of break the shot. But yeah, I mean, my first 2 mags out of it, I wasn't really excited about it, if I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to throw shade at Beretta. You guys make some badass shotguns. I'm just not a fan of this pistol.
I know, I'll probably get a phone call about from somebody from Beretta. Like,
well, I mean, like we were saying in SHOT Show, somebody was
they agree. Yeah. They agree. Everybody does. Hollywood made it look really cool, all dressed up.
Yeah.
Don't.
I mean, they've come a long way. Like you look at like, God, what's up with JJ Rakosa? That dude is a fucking super ninja, dude. You ain't never seen anybody shoot as good as that dude. He shoots Beretta, but I'm never gonna be able to shoot that gun like him because I can't get past it. But so, you want to give it a whirl?
No.
All right, I'll do it.
No, I want to see. Make sure you do a slow-mo on his facial reaction when he shoots it.
Yeah, we'll see how much I don't like this gun.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel bad, dude, but I can't get past that. You can't get past the safety. You're never going to win me over the safety on a handgun, dude. You're just not going to. Let's just see how long it goes. Prepping. Accuracy's not bad. And then after you get through the first shot, it's not bad. Felt recoil's not bad. trigger reset's not bad. This rear sight, it's pretty wide. It's pretty forgiving, but if you're not really locked on it, it kind of gets away from you.
You know why Beretta lost the contract to the 226?
Tell me.
During testing, when this slide was coming back, it literally flew off.
Oh.
And it was like a major problem they couldn't figure out.
I hope that didn't happen. What is that, Sin City? Break that thing, it goes back to his forehead? Yeah, hope that doesn't happen to me.
Very excited to find out about the 226 when we checked in the buds and went through that.
Yeah.
Way cooler looking gun back then. I mean, had the rail for the light, all that different stuff. Same kind of capacity as it, especially back then. I remember wearing our thumbs off reloading these 15 round mags, but 15 plus 1. I mean, that was a lot of rounds back then.
Dude, overall, it doesn't fit bad in the hand. I don't think it's bad at all. The ergonomics wise, in that thumb safety, like, brother, I can't get past it, dude. Just, that is such a low trigger pull until you get it out. It feels like you get away from you.
Have you seen some of those highly modified? Like people put comps on them and,
Yeah,
and race
dude.
guns?
Yeah. I mean, they look so cool. I mean, for me, like, fit and finish in the hand, like, does it feel like a pistol? And that's what we tell a bunch of guys. We've had people, right when we first started, close your eyes, all the guns are clear and safe, walk down and get a full purchase and tell me when you get to a pistol. To me, that feels like a pistol. It does. You're never going to win me over the thumb safety. Never. I ain't into it, man. I don't like that. That's just a lot of stuff to be able to action back and forth. And to think that I can present that over and over and not jam that up, for me, it just puts my hand in a weird articulation to try to get that thing out. Like, that's not where I want it to be. I don't want my thumb to have to make that gross motor movement, for me personally. But after you get past that first one, not a bad trigger pull. Let's go with this bad boy. I'd like the grip angle on the Sig better.
I like the grip angle, even being a lefty and the hand manipulation, the decock thumb holster.
Yep.
Still, very single right-handed driven. None of the ambidextrous stuff had come in. But, I mean, this was most of our career.
Yeah, I mean, between 226, 228, 229, and then when you transition to 320, I thought the 320 is just a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we've had some ninjas out when we first started. We used to go down to Shaw Shooting School down in Mississippi, and the instructors were so good at that thing. They were so good at that prepping that first stage trigger, and I just wasn't. I was impatient. I get bitter end of it. I'm like, first one, I'll just cock this damn thing, and then I'll run it single action, then we'll be good to go. And it was, man, on all the drills, you'd see that first one, everything is low and to the left. You get all the way out, and you're like, just hammering it. As soon as we get to a single stage, you gotta start to pick it up.
I mean, remember we used to color these dots?
Yeah.
Red or anything like that?
Yeah.
I mean, they're night sights, but...
Take a little paint marker and drop on it.
No, but Ross and all those boys down at Shaw's, yes, they had a 226, but they had a highly modified 226 they never told us about. And I never figured out for 20 years.
Yeah.
Until they let you shoot their guns, and then it's like, oh.
Yeah, now I get it.
Okay.
I mean, a little bit of a flared magwell would have definitely made it a little bit easier back in the day. Big pronounced slide release, I love. Then that decock thumb holster, you gotta reposition his grip just enough to drop it back down.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get the motor movement down, I mean, that's what we grew up with, dude. I'm not a huge fan of this first trigger pull, but if you prep it on the way out, you can get pretty much to the wall. Try that. Hands all bleeding and shit.
Oh, yeah, I was doing the whole blind little piano.
No big deal.
This thing takes me back.
Yeah, dude. Just the rounds, dude, just over and over. The decock thumb holster in, retain. Over and over and over again.
Blow on a little bit, sorry.
All right, so between these two, between Beretta, Sig 226, gun to your head right now, pick one.
226 all day. Grew up with it.
Same.
Love it.
And I'll be honest, I am not the best at shooting a 226. It was kind of the death of me for a while, and you kind of just get used to it, and you realize that's your only option you're ever going to have while you're inside of that career field, so you really just start to adopt it. But yeah, like once we got down and we started shooting the instructor's guns, those little trigger mods they did, it's like, you've had a short reset this whole damn time? Oh, you can change the trigger? Oh, you can put a mag well on it? Oh my God, when optics came out, you're like, I can't put an optic on. And you're like, oh, I got a guy with a lathe. Yeah. They do it and they throw an optic and you're like, okay, dude, like not everything has to be, off the shelf. Like you can modify these things, even some optics, man. Like we used to do the grip texture and we have a guy out there with a Dremel tool.
Oh, yeah.
Putting in the scales, like all those little things help, and it helps your connection to the pistol.
I mean, that was you hit on it, but it's like there's these grip screws allowed us to take the kind of factory grips and start getting into aftermarkets. But yeah, I remember when they were doing those lathes and putting the red dots on there too. I mean, it looked crazy back then.
Oh, dude, we used to make fun of those guys. What do you need a pistol red dot for? Yeah. And then you see him shooting, you're like, okay, there's levels to it. Okay, I got you. All right, so out of these two, we're sliding 226 up front.
Yep.
We'll go Glock 17.
So, I mean, for me, the first time I shot a Glock was the first time I ever shot a pistol with my dad. He took me one time when I was probably, I think, 16, I don't know, somewhere around there. But those didn't really come back in, I say, my life, or the team's life, until, I don't know, a little after 2010,
yeah.
I'd say. But like 17s, 19s, all that, and that introduction. I like that there's no longer a double action, like super heavy. Every trigger pull was the same exact thing.
Yep.
And feel different grip angle, but the one thing I didn't like, and I never did it, was they have such a short back strap.
Beaver tail?
Yeah, beaver tail. And it's like, whatever one I got, I never even knew that you could make it longer.
Dude, I had the same thing, man. If you look at everybody's hands, like they're all chewed up. I know Cole's got scars from them too.
Oh, yeah.
Just choked up on this thing so high, and you start to run that groove. The standard issue Glock bite. We used to send our stuff, I don't even know if it's still a company, so sorry if you guys went out of business. Hopefully you didn't. It's called Robar. We would send in the lowers. They would fill these things with like JV weld, and they would sand them all down to make it like a 1911 grip style. It changed the game, dude. You could shoot them I could shoot them so much better than I could. With just that European swell, it automatically makes me can it up just a little bit. So anytime I shoot a Glock, I'm telling myself level. Because if I naturally present it, it presents up. Like this is how it feels normal. So every time I go to present, I have to re-level it into my eye line. If I don't do that, I'm always gonna be high. And that's really just me from the grip swell. So if I can eliminate that and get it back to like a 226, when I drive it out, it is flat and level. Like that's the only way it's gonna go. Like, it feels awkward if it's choked up. It feels awkward if it's choked down. If I just close my eyes and present, it's flat and level. That's ultimately what I want, and that was the big transition, even on the 19s. You pull it out, and every time I drive it out, I'm like, God damn, I'm high over and over. Dude, it took me a lot of reps to get used to it, but I'm the same way, man. Like the consistent trigger pull over and over, and I'll just say it, these things never malfunction, dude.
No.
Unless you feed them just absolute dog shit ammo, which even then, we don't have any issues with them cycling. If you're talking about just straight reliability, these things never fail, dude. But I will say, I absolutely, positively hate the factory iron sights. They're the worst. I'm sorry, Glock. They're the worst iron sights on the market. They are. When you guys started swapping out some Trinity and some stuff like that, obviously a lot better. But those factory irons, man, I can't get past them. I hate them.
I mean, one nice other upgrade too. I know we're starting to get like mag extensions for the 226s, but with the Glocks started carrying a capacity of 17, then started making larger capacity mags too, which is just nice training wise.
Yeah, I mean, even like the concealed carry, like we'd always run one in there, nice flush mag, it's concealed, and then your speed reload would be a full size.
Yeah.
So now you get some extra rounds, do an extended, you can still conceal it, but yeah, these things fit great. None of these things have anything done to them, they're all stock, but let's run one of these bad boys. The consistency on that, dude, it's so nice. That lefty, God. You gotta wipe the blood off of it.
Interesting fun fact, if you guys don't know who Mrs. Glock is, that's the chairman of the board of Glock. It's worth a Google.
Worth a Google. Yeah, worth a Google.
But, no, I mean, they've continued to grow and modify with different models and capacities. But I mean, I know a shit ton of law enforcement people just love Glocks. Standard trigger, but it's nice, consistent, smooth, like you said. No real malfunctions. I think it's interesting now with the gun industry. I call it Glocks and Sigs, kind of like Jeeps. There's so many aftermarket companies that you can just really customize whatever you like.
We said the same thing about BCM, like being like the Toyota Tacoma carbines. Bro, that's the same thing, dude. A couple $100 and you can make yourself a fucking badass race gun with not a whole lot of anything behind it. Jump on YouTube, dude. Everybody's making aftermarket stuff. And I mean, I don't know. If I was king for a day and you had to go out of these three between 226, the Beretta, the Glock 17, where you going?
Going back to the 226.
Are you?
Extended mag.
Extended mag 226. I'd go Glock 17 over 226. Just consistency of the trigger pull, the reliability, and yeah. I mean, dude, that first trigger pull, dude, it's so long, dude. These things are so nice, and we have some that are really tricked out.
Yeah.
And bro, you can drop a drop-in trigger in here. Like Bob Vogel makes a gnarly one I had when we were active duty, and you drop that thing in, and it really does. It makes all the difference. So if guys are having issues on the trigger pull and the stock, look at a drop-in model, or just really look at prepping that trigger on the full extension, and then it won't be a thing. All right.
Let's talk about the 320. I mean, 320s to me really started coming on when we were retiring. So never really got much experience while we're in.
No, like maybe 100 rounds through it in the initial test.
Just what a game changer coming from the 226 and moving to the 320 and the FCU and the modularity of it. Like,
yeah, dude.
I love how you can just customize it and build it, like specifically do what you want.
Yeah, dude. The FCU swap out is so nice, man. Like, talk to people all the time. Like, oh, it doesn't fit my hand right. Get a different lower.
Yeah.
Drop it in. Like, I want to do this. Brother, you got the FCU. That's all you got to do. Yep. Go to the Sig Experience Center and just buy you whatever slides and whatever you want. Just make your own gun.
But I mean, the 18 and 7. So now, the M8, M18, M17.
17.
I think the 17 was for the Marine Corps.
Yeah, 17 for the Marine Corps.
Don't quote me. And then 18 Army.
18 is the Army.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, 17's longer, 18's shorter.
Are all of them coming factory with red dots now?
Factory is supposed to come in with red dots.
Yeah, they're enclosed. Yeah, they're like matching.
Cool.
But no, I mean, good upgrade. The trigger pull way different. Obviously, on these government models, you know, they still have the safety, but it's all ambi controls, which is nice. It's like you have a flush mag, fits 17 rounds, but it'll take any other 320.
I mean, like
extension.
So if you look at this trigger pull in comparison to the old one, look at how long this is, and then how short that is.
Yeah.
So even the reset. Dude, that's clean, dude. Yeah, feel that in comparison. Yeah, you feel that. Keep going. You're almost
I'm
there.
starting to hold my breath.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, for me, I obviously wish it was a little bit bigger. I'm a sucker for an X5 Legion. I like full-size pistols, but I wouldn't have any issue doing that.
Yep.
I mean,
Hey, sweet upgrade.
fits good in the hand.
That got in the hands of.
Yeah, dude, like, not a big fan of that safety. I don't know how many guys bump that thing. I've seen a bunch of dudes in training courses. They go to the speed reloads and they accidentally end up knocking that thing in a battery. They drop the hammer and you see them just squeezing and nothing's happening. That's what it is. So you really got to burn your cadence and make sure your whole system's locked in. I mess it up all the time, dude. We're out here, all these different guns. They've got trigger safeties and grip safeties and this and that. And it's like, oh, it's not going. What is it? I haven't burned the reps into making sure that thing's dropped down every time.
I was definitely concerned too when they came out with the military model. I mean, all the other 320s pretty much had that flat face trigger and, you know, kept with the kind of little curved trigger. I was really concerned that they were going to change the feel of it, but it's still super smooth.
Yep.
Nice trigger.
Yeah, it comes with the 17 round mag, looks sick. Is dropping the extendos. I like the extended. It looks cool too. See how this thing goes. I love having a red dot. Do that on a roll. All right, where you going?
Sorry.
17 or 226? Or 18 or 226?
Like factory?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn now.
I'm going 18. I really wish there wasn't a safety on it.
Have you ever shot a 17?
Mm-hmm.
It feel the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit heavier, a little bit bigger.
I mean, I think I'm still going to stick with the Sig. Just, we should try and modify and see if we can get the safety off.
We could grind it down. We could put it on a Dremel and just hammer it off.
Put a new, different FCU in there.
We could. We could do that.
Have to see.
All right. So between 226, Mark 18, Glock 17, where you going?
I mean, there's no question.
You going Sig?
Yeah, M18.
Yeah, out of all those, even with the safety, I would go Sig just because I shoot it better. It fits the best in my hand. That natural presentation can't be ignored. And I know guys will argue it till they're blue in the face, and that's on you.
Yeah.
Like, if you shoot a Glock better than you do your duty weapon, continue shooting a Glock. You're only going to get better. If you shoot a Glock like shit and you're forced to use one, buy one as your civilian gun and train more. Right? I mean, we had the same thing. We have guys in the teams that were phenomenal shooters, dude.
Yeah, amazing.
When they got that 226, terrible. Like, they couldn't get past it. And for whatever reason, the ergonomics, the natural point of aim, whatever it might be, if that's not the jam for you, but you're forced to use it, you're forced to use it. And you really got to make that your only thing. And that's what a lot of guys were good with in the teams, is not building confidence in a platform you were never going to get the opportunity to run. Like, there weren't a whole lot of guys that had 55 pistols.
Oh, no.
And you saw them running 3-gun matches. Like, everybody who trained, they all had a 226. Anytime you went to the flat range, you were running with the tools you had. And yeah, you got to build the comfortability in the platform you have to run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if I was king for a day and I had to pick out of any one of these right here, yeah, I'd go with M18. But I would grind off that safety. If I didn't have to, if I had to go with anything else, I'd go Glock 17 stock straight out of the box. I wouldn't do a damn thing to it. And I'd just get better at leveling it more.
Maybe we get a saw out and just chop that thing off.
Yeah, we can chop that thing off. Fellas, we're going to run these things a little bit more, but yeah, just want to give you some unbiased feedback on comparisons between the Beretta Glock 17, Sig 226, and then the M18. Now with the red dot on it, the grip angle, I'm with you, man. I think that thing reigns supreme. But yeah, we're going to keep running for a little bit. Anything else you guys want to see? We're going to do some carbines next and some stuff like that. But I think I'm going to force Cole to run some standards with this Beretta since he has the most experience on it. And I think that'll just be a funny video to watch him.
I will do it off camera so you guys can't see my ugly face.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, boy, we're going to jump back on the range, man. We appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon.